FHA or conventional? What's the difference and why should it matter? A lot of buyers are shopping for a mortgage when they're trying to buy a home, and they don't really understand the difference between the products that they're looking at. FHA and conventional are the two most popular loan types, and I think it's very important that you understand what you're getting into before you make an offer or buy a home. Hi everybody, Dan Jensen with RE/MAX Park Square. There's two things to look at. One, how does this loan type affect my offer? And two, how does it affect my financial situation going forward? So first of all, let's look at it from the offer perspective. FHA and conventional have their pros and cons. Typically, a seller is going to prefer a conventional loan because it has a higher down payment, which they view as being a more secure loan type, and the appraisal process is going to be less strict for a conventional loan versus an FHA. So when an appraiser goes out for a conventional loan, they're just looking at the house, taking some photos, taking some measurements, and then they're going to evaluate how that home stacks up to other sales in the area. FHA, they're also going to look at the condition of the property. Are there any broken steps on the front steps? Are there any railings missing? Paint peeling? Some safety issues as well. Is the hot water heater hooked up correctly? Things of that nature. So it's a little bit of a cosmetic thing because they don't want somebody to get into a money pit, and also it's a safety thing. They don't want anybody to get hurt at the property. So for a seller, they like the higher down payment and they like the fact that the appraisal is a lot easier on a conventional versus an FHA. Now buyers, they're gonna think, well, it really shouldn't matter because my offer is the same or higher than the competition. But the problem is sellers want security. They don't just want the highest price, they also want to make sure that the loan is going to close. And there's a little bit of a stigma with FHA versus conventional. So that's a little bit of the difference in terms of how the sellers view it. For you as a buyer, the main differences are how do you qualify and what's the cost going to be of the loan. So for qualifications, an FHA is a lot easier to obtain because the credit score requirements are much less strict. I think the latest I've heard is somebody could do like 580, might even be lower than that, FICO score for acquiring an FHA loan. Whereas conventional is going to be well into the 600s, preferably over the 7s. So easier to get the loan with a lower credit score, and the down payment is drastically less. I've closed a couple loans that were conventional with 3% down, but the vast majority are 5 to 10% of just down payment, not including closing costs. Whereas FHA, most buyers go 3.5% down. So even just the difference between 3.5% and 5% is pretty drastic for a lot of people, especially in the New Jersey market. 1.5% of your purchase price is going to be thousands and thousands of dollars. So for you, it's going to be less strict to get the loan, less money out of pocket for the down payment. However, the monthly payment might be a little bit higher for an FHA because of something called PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. And that is something that just basically ensures that you're going to be able to pay the loan back. And it's a little bit of a way for the lender to hedge their investment in this loan. So because you have to pay PMI on an FHA, it could wind up being a higher monthly payment. Now for conventional, as long as you're under 20% down, you have to pay PMI. But once you hit 20% equity on a conventional, that PMI completely disappears. With an FHA, you're stuck with it until you refinance. So your monthly payments might be higher on an FHA, but it should be a little cheaper out of pocket to close. Conventional, a little bit more money out of pocket, but PMI either doesn't exist or it drops off naturally. So these are just a couple of the differences between these two loan types. If you want to learn more, talk to your loan officer, talk to your realtor, talk to your financial advisor to figure out which product is best for you. Thanks.